is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Oh, you know, we are back. We are back. We're not on screen. We are black. There we go. That feels better. We are back. We are live. I believe we are here. I believe we are here. This is Value Wrestling. This is your collision. Dynamite. I was going to say it right. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not 100% tonight, so bear with me. But we are doing your Dynamite review for November 8th, 2023. I'm here in studio, and of course, sitting across from me is the one, the only.
That's Clarke.
Oh yes, and of course you know me. I'm the one. I'm the only. It's not even playing. That's so depressing. We'll do it. Nope. It said denied. Denied. Yep, I'm getting no music tonight. There we go. In the house, ready to get the show on the road. We're gonna get this done. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for being here. Tell me lies. Tell me lies. Tell me sweet little lies. Yes, I bet you would love that. But back to the matters. We're here. We're here for your Dynamite review. If you're in the chat, thank you for joining us. If you can hear us and everything sounds pretty, let us know. We appreciate it. All right. Let's get into a show that was pretty average for what it was. So we open up with MJF with Tony Schiavone. He's talking to Tony Schiavone. Yeah, always. Tony's talked about how MJF lost. MJF says it only takes 3 seconds to lose the title, but it's not going to happen. MJF's phone vibrates. It's Adam Cole. He puts Adam Cole on the big screen. And again, Adam Cole trying to talk MJF into using Samoa Joe as his partner. Why is this? What is the purpose behind this? Maybe that's it. Maybe Joe's going to be the devil in the end of all this. Who knows? Joe could be the devil, and Adam Cole and the boys could be the other 4 guys. Could be very interesting, but there's some reason Adam Cole keeps telling MJF to work with Samoa Joe. Anyways, in walks Daniel Garcia with Angelo Parker and Matt Menard, the Brutus Beefcake wannabe, and I guess they're trying to pull off their best impression of Deuce and Dominoes from WWE way back in the day. MJF tells him not to get twisted. Garcia goes to dance. MJF asks, is he going to get the sports entertainer or the professional wrestler? Garcia says he's going to get the wrestler. MJF walks out. Here comes Roderick Strong going, Adam. Adam basically tells him, we go over the whole thing. See, if MJF's the devil because he walked off. And they have a quick phone conversation before Cole hangs out. Strong turns to the camera and says he needs to remind everybody exactly who the hell he is. So that was the opening for the show. Mr. Clarke, what did you think from the opening of the show?
I think it was a nice little, for Daniel Garcia, nice little continuity about, like, are you the wrestler or are you the sports entertainer? What's going on? What are we getting? Because he can definitely do both.
Yeah.
But ultimately, he is still going to be the wrestler. He's got to be. That is what brought him to the dance. Is what he is good at. I enjoy the little, bit, but ultimately he has to still get it done in the ring.
Exactly. Anyways, we get to our not our main event, but our opening match, which is for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, because Tony Khan likes to boot his stuff backwards or stupid. I don't know what you call it. Anyways, so we have MJF and Daniel Garcia to open the show for the AEW World Championship. These guys gave an okay match. I wasn't overly impressed. I think they could have done better. MJF showed his stuff. I think Garcia I don't know. They've got some great moves. It picked up more towards the end. Eventually, Garcia tries to go up for power driver, but MJF turns it into an armbar or the salt of the earth armbar. And then as Garcia's trying to call away, Adam, of course, MJF had been working over the arm all night. So when he pulls on the arm, he taps out, and we get MJF as your winner.
Like there's any doubt.
And yeah, so 10-minute, 40-second match. It was good. I think they could have done a little better, but hey, They went out there, gave us a good match for the opening card match. They definitely kind of got the crowd into it, but I don't think the best match. At the end, MJF tries to puts out his hand to shake Garcia's hand, but Matt and Angelo come in and stop Garcia from shaking his hand. MJF goes to do it again. Garcia looks like he's going to go shake it, but Parker and Menard pull him out of the ring, and they all walk out. And that's how that opening segment ended, the opening match. Your thoughts, Mr. Clarke?
I like the tease of the dissension between Garcia and his boys. Remember, they started together before they were part of the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a long-standing thing for them. The constant will they, won't they? Are they going to gel and unify as a unit? Are they going to eventually part because they just got different philosophies, shall we say? Yeah, that's about it.
All right.
For that.
Then we had Darby Allin and Sting versus the Outrunners, and I finally figured out what the Outrunners are running from. They're outrunning, or at least trying to outrun the 1990s, because they figure if they keep running, then time will never catch up to them, and they can keep living in the 1990s. That's the rejected Beverly Brothers. This match went to Sting getting a Scorpion Deathlock on, and the Outrunner tapping out, and that was the end of that match. Nothing to talk about. They don't even have a time on this. It was a squash match that served no purpose. Didn't do anything for Sting. Didn't do anything for Darby. Didn't continue any storyline. I don't even know why they were tagging tonight. Your thoughts?
I'm assuming it was just busy work because, like you said, it didn't really do anything storyline-wise. Besides, like, hey, they're a tag team for a little while longer before Sting retires.
Yeah.
Okay.
Backstage, we see Tony Schiavone with Hikaru Shida and Tony Storm in black and white. They tell us, don't worry about your screen, folks. You don't got to adjust your TV screens. Whatever. They have their weird back and forth moment here. Yeah, it was just weird. It was whatever. Tony Storm, timeless character. They're continuing to build it up. It was a promo. It wasn't anything, I don't know, time killer. Your thoughts?
You're expecting this to be, I guess, a continued build for Tony Storm. I'm expecting her to take the title off Shida. So what's next then? Is she going to feud with her former Outcast mates? I mean, that's what I'm kind of wondering with the little bit of pieces and scraps that we've gotten throughout the weeks.
Yeah. Well,
at least that's a possibility.
And now, if she does win, that'll make her the second 3-time women's champion in AEW already, only in 4 years of the company's existence?
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. It was weird. Anyways, then we moved into the match with Swerve Strickland and Penta El Ciro Miedo. A good match between these guys, is what you'd expect. Penta got some nice chops in there. Swerve got off a couple great moves. It was a back and forth. Finally, a fireman's into a Death Valley driver and goes down, and he snaps Penta's arm in this weird moment. Like he stands on his arm to do it, and then falls off, then does it again. And then Swerve up to the top rope for the stomp, into the 1, 2, 3. I guess Swerve was intended to break Penta's arm in this match. It looked really weird. Okay, well, this person says, I don't care how sloppy the match got at times. It was certified Briscoe. What a match. I thought it was a good match.
No bloody sense.
It was a good match between them two. Yes, it was kind of sloppy. They were a little out of sync at times, but I don't know how you call it, certified Briscoe. Yay, okay. Anyways, that match went 13 minutes, 21 seconds. This fool gave it a 4.5-star rating. I don't know why or how. Must be a youngling today, Meltzer. Who knows? Who cares? But, yeah, no. Swerve Strickland picks up a win like we thought. After the match, Hangman comes down to attack Swerve with his chair. Hits him before he gets out of the stage and drops him with the Deadeye on the table from off the ramp. And we're getting a wild, crazy, out of control Adam Hangman Page, which makes sense. This kind of continues the storyline. The match was whatever. I'm kind of ready to get this over with, I think. I don't know if I'm too hyped about Hangman and Swerve's whole storyline at this point. But that's me. Your thoughts, sir?
First thing, I think the whole point behind Swerve trying to do the breaking of the arm on Penta, when Penta was first getting over with the American audience in Lucha Underground, that was his shtick, was breaking the arm. Not just hurting it, it's like, that's what got him over with the American audience. Because I guess we like violence. And again, it's professional wrestling, so whatever.
I got 3 letters.
So for
ECW.
Strickland, right? So for Strickland to turn around and try to take that and take it to Penta that way, I think for some fans at least that would add a little more stakes. Now coming to Hangman after the match, I love the crazed look in his eye.
Yeah.
For me, it actually built the story a little bit more. That's like it would be easy for him to just come out and do a run in and whatever, but it's like the facial expression, that adds more weight, adds more gravity to me than just a simple run in. So I thought that was really good on his end.
Yeah. Fair enough. Anyways, we got a really weird video game package about Don Callis and Kenny Omega in this weird package for a game called Like a Dragon Street Fight that's coming out tomorrow, I think it is. I don't know anything about it. Don't know what this had to do with it. It was a real strange thing. And of course, like right after that, if I recall, because I don't think this person wrote that down. No, they didn't add that into notes. We had the interview with the Golden Jets when we came back. So we had this whole setup, and then we get Kenny Omega right back on TV. We had Chris Jericho, and then they were talking until they got interrupted by the Bucks. The Bucks are pissed off, and they're going after Jericho. Jericho and the Bucks go back and forth until until Jericho challenges the Bucks, and the Bucks challenge them. I guess they're going to have a match at Full Gear now, the Young Bucks versus the Golden Jets. Why? Because hell, why not? Finally, Kenny Omega speaks up and says, we're friends, but if you don't think we can't beat you, we can beat you. If the Golden Jets win, they get to take for the first time ever, as it was brought up since Wrestle Dreams. If the Golden Jets win, they take the number 1 title contendership away from the Bucks. The Bucks win, the Golden Jets got to break up. I don't know if I care about any of this. I thought Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho were going to fight Don Callis' family group, do their thing, and get on to something else, not continue to go on together. I'm not interested in them two as a tag team in any shape or form. Your thoughts on Jericho, Omega, the Young Bucks, and this storyline?
For a quick storyline, I thought it was actually pretty good. I don't want to see this as a prolonged feud, that's for sure. But adding some kind of stakes, like if you have the Young Bucks go after the tag team titles at this point, like it's not much of a build, and it's like you kind of expect the Bucks to go over anyways. So having them distracted by some other story for the time being, while Tony Khan figures out something for the tag champions. Obviously, he's not doing that well enough either. I think is a good idea for the time being.
Yeah, and to me, I don't know. I'm just not behind all this. It's weird. To some points, I just, we'll have to see how it plays out.
I could see, like, if you and I were to enter a storyline together, I could see this between the Bucks and Kenny at least. The little, it's like, yeah, we're friends and everything, but I can still do whatever I can in that ring, against you.
Yeah.
I guess I really enjoyed the way Kenny played it. Jericho, it's kind of his usual spiel.
Yeah.
The way Kenny played it was like, okay, I see you, and you're right. You guys are supposed to be the good, in his opinion, the greatest tag team there is, at least in AEW.
Yeah.
But if you don't think I have the ability to go out there and best you, have you not been paying attention to the whole career of the cleaner, of the belt collector, of
Yeah.
Like, we friends, yeah, but this is business. That's how I took it.
Yeah. So from there, we got the Ring of Honor World Championship match, and of course, we got a Ring of Honor announcer in the ring to announce them. We can't have Justin Roberts do it on an AEW show. We have to have a Ring of Honor announcer come out and announce the rings, which don't make sense to me because it's not Ring of Honor. So, anyways, Samoa Joe versus Keith Lee. A good solid match. Again, it was kind of at moments. It was a little slow at moments, but they definitely made it look like a good match. I mean, it's what you get. The match lasted 11 minutes, 24 seconds. Joe eventually won with the clutch, taking down the big Keith Lee, which was impressive. Keith Lee eventually passed out with his tongue hanging out. Great expression from Keith Lee in the end. So, I mean, it was a good, solid match. There were some moments there it was a little slow and a little, but overall, good, solid match between these two. Joe retains his Ring of Honor TV title just to vacate the title because he wants the AEW World title. So we'll have to see how that goes from here. Your thoughts, sir?
I actually thought this was a fantastic match. But then again, I'm going based on old school ways of thinking on how a match should be laid out psychologically. It's like I'm going based on 80s ideals of heavyweight matches as opposed to modern day flippy fast action. Because I was looking at Joe and I was looking at Keith, I was like, damn, this makes a lot of sense. Like, I don't know, I enjoyed it. Like the newer fans may or may not, just because a lot of what AEW is pretty fast paced. So to go slow and to have that anticipation and, like I said, the 80s psychological style may not necessarily work for some people.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. The fact that that Joe gave up the TV title, it kind of makes me wonder why they didn't just have Keith Lee win it.
I know.
But it depends where they go from here, I guess, as far as that title is concerned.
Yeah, it was a solid big man match. It was good. But, yeah, so Joe leaves the ring, leaves the title behind. He's going after the AEW World title. And the Ring of Honor TV titles vacate, which is fine. I don't know if that's any concern to anybody. I mean, it's not. It's a title Joe was carrying, but I don't know if it was doing anything for Ring of Honor if he was carrying it, and I don't know if it was helping Joe. It was just kind of in existence, so. Anyways, we go backstage. We have Orange Cassidy with Hook. Moxley, all right, OC asked Moxley if he's lost his mind, basically talking it over. This went into a good promo. And then we came back from commercial. We got a promo from Moxley. So somehow in all this, we're going to get a match between Orange Cassidy and Hook against Moxley and Yuta next week on Dynamite. So good little promo moment here. Then we got another squash match that went at 43 seconds. The Guns took on the Bollywood Boys. Do I need to tell you anything about it? Because there's no point. Afterwards, the Guns got on the mic and talked about MJF and his references and how they've been doing this, and they're going to win the Ring of Honor tag team titles because they are generational talents, stealing kind of from MJF. They don't care if they're going to take on MJF by himself or with a partner or whatever. They are ready for full gear against MJF. We see MJF watching backstage. Samoa Joe walks up behind him, and they just kind of stare at each other as MJF walks off. Anything you want to add to that, sir?
Like you said, it wasn't much of a match between the Guns and the Bollywood Boys, but I enjoyed the cameo from the Bollywood Boys. I have been loosely following them since before their WWE run, let alone their WWE run, and since they've been elsewhere.
Yeah.
So it was just like a nice little shout out. Nothing to write home about. A nice little shout out.
And no, Miguel, you are right. They need to get rid of some of these belts on AEW TV because it just doesn't help the brand overall, I think. Excuse me, folks. Anyways, the next match was a good, solid match. We got Red Velvet versus Julia Hart.
That was enjoyable.
Yes, it was a great match. Very good match. These two blended well together. Julia eventually gets the win with a huge moonsault for the 1-2-3. Julia grabs Red after the match and locks her into the Heartless. This is what brought Sky Blue down. They go facing off to off. Julia Hart kind of staring more into the eyes of Sky Blue, like really getting into her face and kind of doing an inspection. This is when Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander came down. Chris Statlander kind of came off as the big booch tonight because she got between Sky Blue and Julia Hart for no reason, and then Sky Blue was not happy about that, and she kind of walked around to the side, and there was another moment between Sky and Chris Statlander after that, and then they all kind of walked out of the ring. What a good match. Your thoughts?
Fantastic match, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
But looking at the story after the match, I'm just like, what is Statlander doing? Yeah. Why is she even concerning herself at this point? I mean, obviously, this is going to eventually surround the TBS title. I mean, that would have to be the obvious eventual resolve. But at some point, I will not look at Sky Blue weird if she winds up attacking Statlander just because getting in her business. You can see that
Yeah. Well, and Statlander pulled a booch move. I mean, that was a total booch move to stand between Sky Blue and, like, I'm more important than you. I mean, that was kind of a cocky, arrogant move to get right in front of Sky Blue to face Juilliard. Just kind of like, look at me, I'm the champion. But hey, to each their own.
And this is gonna where Willow Nightingale comes into this. Though, it's like, okay, yes, she's friends with all of them practically, but she's kind of more off to the side.
Yeah. Anyways, from there we're backstage. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Nightingale will probably eventually play more of a role in this as it gets rolling, but you can tell this is really more Sky Blue and Statlander, and Julia Hart's just kind of the catalyst to it.
From there, we went backstage with RJ City. He was with Mariah May. She made her debut, coming off as a big fan of Toni Storm, so I don't know if she's pulling her best impression of a Mickie James when she first came in after Trish Stratus, or if this is AEW's version of Tiffany Stratton for AEW. I've heard a lot about her, but I don't know if this is really impressive the way she came in. I don't know. What are your thoughts, sir?
The way that AEW tends to bring in international talents has always been they might give you a little bit of a backstory, but not enough to really say this is who the character is. Now, to a degree, they gave her some kind of character here. It's like you have a little bit of a feel, but as far as her past in Stardom and in New Japan, to give you that serious, like detailed background, they gave you nothing. So besides just saying that, she came from Stardom, it's like, okay, and why would the American audience care? Like, we don't get any clips, we don't get anything that sets up anything. And like you said, it's kind of a Trish, Mickie James reboot.
Yeah. Anyways, from there we have the main event, which was not even one of the title matches listed on the show tonight. It was Mark Briscoe versus Jay White. This was your main event. Both these guys had a good match, good solid match. They both bought their stuff. There was a few moments there that were kind of out of it, but it was a decent match overall. Where are we? Okay. Eventually, at 14 minutes, 10 seconds, Jay goes for the Boy Runner, but Mark hits with the slap to the face and the chops, and then Jay with a surprise sleeper suplex, big DDT. Finally back into the Blade Runner for 1, 2, and 3 at 14 minutes, 10 seconds. I don't know if it's a main event caliber match. Was it a good match? Yes, these two definitely brought it, but I think they tried to, in some of that, tell the story of this guy's past, but I think they needed to tell more of the past to get some of the other people excited about this match. Your thoughts on the match, sir?
Okay, so you might have been excited a little bit just because if you've seen the talents of Mark Briscoe and Jay White. But no one was going to get super excited unless you know the history, the rich history, and you had to be a Ring of Honor mark for that to make any bloody sense. That was years and years ago.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't blame the modern fans to not be as excited as, like I said, a long-time Ring of Honor mark. It was good, but they need to tell the story, the rich history. They have the tape library of Ring of Honor. I don't understand why Tony Khan doesn't use it more.
Yeah.
Like, you can splicing it between what's happening currently and what's happening in the past to get to where we are now. Like, they have all the tools. They just don't do it. I don't understand. I just don't understand.
After the match, Jay White and his cohorts are celebrating in the ring when the MJF music hits. And, sneeze. I know it. Hold on. This is the value of wrestling, and even down in the dumps, fighting a cold. If I could talk, I can walk, I could sit in the chair. I'm going to give you everything I've got. That's what we're about. So I'm here. I'm not 100, but that's okay because you are fans, and doing this review and putting it out there is what is important. And I will do whatever it takes to get here.
I was waiting for the tagline.
I don't know. Which tagline?
I'm not.
I'm not. Oh, I'm not dead. I'm not dead. If I'm not dead, I am going to be here Because that's what I do. I will come out here and do the best with what I got. I may not be 100%, but I'm going to come out here and give you all that I do have. Anyways, after the match, we know that they were celebrating in the ring. And eventually MJF's music hits. They were waiting for MJF to come down the ramp. He came up behind him, knocked out Juice with the diamond ring, knocked out the guns. Leaving MJF and Jay White in the ring together. MJF got in the mic and they went. MJF shot his promo on him. Says he's doing it for all of us now. He's doing it for Adam Cole, for all the folks at home, all the people in the arena. He's their scumbag. And he's standing between him and immortality, the man who carries a fake gun. When it comes down to it, will Jay be able to pull the trigger? And then the lights go out. We see a video package on the back. There's 4. Even though they said 3 for whatever reason from the commentary, there was 4 masked men that had jumped the Acclaimed. Eventually, they knocked them all out, and I think Bowens went through the glass window that was there. The screen flickers. We see the devil. The screen flickers again. We see MJF in the ring. He's running into the back. He's back there looking at the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass laying on the ground, and Samoa Joe walks up behind him and says, "Looks like you're running out of friends," and laughs and walks away. This is how we end the show, but if you listen to the commentary table, they're like, "Oh, there's 3 guys." I'm like, no, there was 4. Went back and checked it. Paid attention to details. One of the guys was black. One of the guys was one looked like Mike Taven, and the other one definitely looked like possibly Mike Bennett. So I have a hunch, but I don't know where that hunch goes. I'm assuming it's getting more and more to look like Adam Cole and the Kingdom that are playing this. And I don't know what part Joe's playing in this, since Adam Cole keeps trying to get MJF to team with Samoa Joe. There's something there in that scenario too. Your thoughts, sir?
First of all, I want to say Joe cracks me up. Oh my god. He's such a great punk ass. He's such a great heel. And he doesn't have to do much, but he knows when those points to make. Just looking at him, like, okay, and? Yeah. But let's see what I wanted to bring up. Oh, yes, Anthony Bowen's doing his best Marty Jannetty impression.
Yep. Yep. At least he wasn't hanging halfway through the window, though. He went all the way through.
This is true. But then again, you expect Anthony Bowens to go all the way. I'll just leave it at that.
Alrighty. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that was your Dynamite for November 8th. Decent show, average show. I don't know if it'll pull in the ratings of last week's show. We're going to have to see what happens with that. I think having the title picture match at first may have been the wrong way to go about it, but I guess to have Jay White and have the way you close it out work out that way, I guess it makes sense in its own way. I don't know. I'm just tired of seeing MJF tied to the Acclaimed. Like, the Acclaimed need to be going and being contenders in their trios titles with other trios, not running around with MJF, at least in my view. Your thoughts?
I don't know if that necessarily has to be true. What I don't enjoy is it's the same damn stuff over and over, week after week now. MJF not be able to get his title back. The Acclaimed trying to be haha funny with him, but it's not working. Why aren't we changing direction yet on that? Yeah. Like, maybe if they were more serious, they can make something be of interest if they're going to tie MJF and the Acclaimed together for a little bit. But particularly MJF not getting his title back. Like, why are we doing this over and over?
Well, they're saving it. They're saving it till Full Gear. He'll win the match, get his title back, and we'll go forward. Hopefully at Full Gear we'll get some more idea of who this devil is, so we can see what the next feud's going to be. Unless it's going to be Joe to be the filler, I don't know.
Now, I think I'll be interested, say maybe by the time we do the weekly roundup podcast, on seeing what tonight's numbers are, viewership.
Yeah. Yep, it'll be interesting to see, because they started at 920. They almost had 1 million viewers at the start of last week's show, and then it dropped off after the first 15 minutes, and then it floated around 800, 700, 800, 700. So people are somewhat interested in MJF. So if you open the show with MJF, I don't know if you're going to bring people back for the ending. So we'll have to see. Wait and see. how that falls out. Luckily, there's nothing this weekend other than Collision in our normal weekly roundup. We have no pay-per-views next weekend. Yay, pay-per-views! So it'll be Full Gear, and I guess there's going to be Collision. Of course, Collision's going to be recorded on Friday night with Rampage. Like Rampage is going to be live this Friday, and then Collision will be in the same arena the next night, I believe, or they're either recording Collision in the same arena. I don't know, but they're booking Rampage and Collision together now. It seems like, but next week it'll have to be it'll be Rampage and Collision on the same night, and then they'll air Collision, I guess, after the pay-per-view. So yeah, that'll only be like 6 or 7 hours of wrestling for that night.
Oh, is that all? Jeez.
Yeah,
Jesus.
and hopefully I'll be back to 100% real soon because I don't like feeling like crap. Anyways, with that all being said, I know this is a short live review, but hey, sometimes it happens. We're going to get out of here. We're going to call it a night. I thank you for joining us. I thank you for being here. If you're here, yeah, this week's are both in Oakland, but I think Collision's going to be on Saturday night in Oakland, where next week it's going to be all in Ontario, California. So we'll have to go from there. Anyways, like I always say, until the next episode. Well, that too, but make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for us. Help us with all of that. I'm going to get us out of here as soon as I find the right place to click. There it is. We're getting done.